The two men who came out of the portal beside him did. One of them was a large fellow whose height was nearly 7 feet. He was completely covered in a gray-colored beast equipment, which looked similar to a rhino, while he carried a large two-handed axe on his back. By his side was an individual who was the complete opposite, a small, skinny fellow. This person was wearing beast equipment that was dark green in hue and had a mask covering his face, although instead of heavy armor like the other person, he wore light armor. The fact that Jack felt the need to bring these two was to remind them of the power that his family had. "I was hoping to speak to your sergeants who discovered one of our family members." That was the real reason why Jack had decided to visit the military base. The two students' files were brought up. The first one was Quinn. Jack quickly scanned it over, but as soon as he saw he was only a level 1 ability user, he quickly disregarded it. The next person was Vorden, who interested him. On his file, it stated his initial testing was a level 5, but next to it in brackets, they said it was subject to changes, and it was also stated that he was an original. Vorden Blade. After reading this name out loud, a memory had popped into his head. Several years ago, Jack had had his power for a few years now, and his family members were starting to grow. He had been called in for a meeting. This meeting was between the big three powers, the strongest originals. They had acknowledged the strength Jack and his family had at that time. However, one thing had stuck in his mind. There was one rule they stated before he left: to never touch the Blade family. "If you ever meet one of them, you have two choices," one of the men said. "Stay away or help them, but if you go against them, not even we can help you." Although it was a Sunday, all the students had been told to gather in the assembly hall for a special occasion. Right now, standing up on the stage was Duke, and behind him were the two men who had arrived with Jack. "All right, is everyone ready?" Logan asked. Right now, Logan had a small earpiece that acted as a microphone, while the others apart from Peter had the same. It was time for them to put their plan into action. "Ready," they all replied. Quinn and Vorden were standing relatively close to each other, while Peter was standing a row in front of them so they could keep an eye on him, while the girls stood directly at the front of the class. Their section was stationed closest to the stage, while right at the back towards the exit was Logan. To his surprise, it seemed like Fex was in the same homeroom class as him. "Rayton, you remember the plan, right?" Vorden asked. "As soon as you finish with what needs to be done, then you get out of there. I don't care if someone looks interesting to fight, or if someone looked at you the wrong way. We need to disappear immediately after you're done." "Will you shut up?" Rayton snapped back. "For the last 2 days you've said the same thing over and over to me." The two abilities he needed were already stored for the day. Right now, they just needed for the assembly to be over.
Want to watch more episodes of my vampire system? Follow Pocket FM Fantasy Chronicles. You can watch the next episode here in the playlist.